Hello, everyone. My name is Jordan. Welcome back to the dorm. And this week's topic is feminist film theory, and this is a favorite of mine. We are going to be discussing feminist film theory and how films like I Shot, Andy Warhol challenge the traditional narrative of how women are perceived in Hollywood. Um, First, when we are understanding feminist film theory, it's important to remember uh, the concept of the male gaze. And so, what that means is that um, for the pleasure of men. And so in Hollywood cinema and early cinema in general, women were often depicted as flowers, very delicate individuals that were usually there to hype up the male character. And so in her essay, sorry, what was her name? I just lost it. Mulvey, in her essay, Laura Mulvey, she in her essay Visual Pleasure and Narrative Cinema, she discusses how women are perceived and depicted in Hollywood films from the male perspective. So men always are at the forefront of the story and are almost always in control, and women are seen as being passive characters. The female characters are often there to support or encourage their male counterparts to see or allow them to reach their own goals to fruition. And so over the years, this has been challenged to allow more depth and dynamic for its female characters and allowing a different sense of portrayal on the screen for women. Um, and in the film, I Shot Andy Warhol, which is a biographical drama about a woman that was in a relationship with Andy Warhol, Valerie Solanas. This movie focuses on that relationship, and what makes this film unique is that it is told from her point of view instead of her being a supporting character that follows Warhol around, kind of traditionally how you would expect a movie like that to be made. Um, I imagine that if this is a movie that had Warhol as the central character, um, it would probably depict her in a probably different light. But the character of Valerie Solanas goes against the traditional narrative of women being polished and uptight, as she is messy and outspoken. And so when we look at feminist film theory, we have to understand um, the gender roles and the struggles that women have faced in regards to accurate representation in film. Like I mentioned earlier, the male gaze, women are often um, objectified and they are seen as like objects of pleasure for the male characters. Also, the male characters in the film are often um, the ones that drive the narrative, while the women are just there to exist with no particular reason whatsoever. And um, this also ties in to. Let me pull it up. So certain modern there's a couple modern day examples of the male gaze that I want to bring up. So the first, a personal favorite of mine is the movie Spring Breakers, and I feel like that movie kind of both reinforces and challenges what the male gaze is. So um, it's that movie with Selena Gomez, and the four main characters are five. I forget how many are there. They're all there, but throughout the film they are dressed with very little on, which could be a callback to the male gaze that is so dominates the industry, but at the same time they also challenge the male gaze because at the same time, while they are seen as being very vulnerable, they are also these characters that are very much in control, and they uh, like these female characters in Spring Breakers challenge that narrative because by the time the uh, the ending comes, the characters are not as delicate as they were at the start of the film. Um, and so that is my take on feminist film theory. Thanks for watching.